Auto rifles are a staple of Destiny. They've had their highs and their lows throughout Destiny history, but hopefully, with Season 23, they'll be more useful with their 10% buff to red bar enemies. So, let's get ready for Season 23 with a list of the best auto rifles in each slot that I think are best to grind for right now. Starting off with Kinetic, we have Last Breath. Starting off with a strong one here, the Last Breath is a standout primary weapon for most builds, thanks to its fairly unique placement of Demolitionist in the left column, which is often reserved for raid weapons. Then, in the right column, there's Adrenaline Junkie, Frenzy, and One for all of which are great damage perks for this primary. Plus, adaptive frames are the standard frame for auto rifles, so Last Breath is real easy to get used to. I'd recommend jumping into Prophecy and grabbing this auto as soon as you can. Next up with Stasis, Crate. Crate is a bit old now, nearly 2 years old at this point since it was released with Witch Queen. Even with its age, Crate is a standout option for Stasis users. Overflow, Stats for All, and Subsistence in the left column with Headstone and One for all in the right column make it great for most Stasis builds. If you've been playing Destiny in the last year, you'll know of Funnelweb. Crate is like the older brother of Funnelweb. Same foundry, same origin perk, similar god roll. Even if you're not running Stasis, this is a great auto to use. I'm fairly sure this is still in the world loot pool, so good luck chasing this one, but with Foundry focusing next season, it'll be a hell of a lot easier. So I'd chase this down as soon as you can if you don't already have a good roll. Strand. Rufus's Fury. This Strand auto comes from the Root of Nightmares on Neomuna, and in terms of perk selection, it might be the best primary in the entire game. With Reconstruction, Rewind, Pugilist for melee builds, and Demo for grenade builds, all in the left column, and then Target Lock, Adrenaline, Frenzy, Paracal's Affinity, and Hatchling all in the right column, there's little this auto can't do. With Reconstruction or Rewind with Target Lock for champion or mini boss damage, since this auto is craftable, you can really spec into dealing as much damage as possible to bosses with these perks too. Demo Hatchling is a fantastic near perfect role for any Strand Warlock builds that focus on Hatchling. I really do recommend this auto over nearly any other primary, especially when it gets the 10% buff. Solar. Amit AR2. A classic craftable weapon here, even mostly responsible for the crafting being so easy to exploit. Amit is the most standard on this list. It can work as a primary in most solo builds, but it can't excel as much as Zauli's Bane, BXR Battler, or Callous Minitool for example, but it makes up for how easy it is to acquire and craft. With Stats for All and Ambitious in the left column, and Incandescent and One for All in the right column, you can see why it's not a top tier weapon when it comes to perks, but again its strength comes from its acquisition and the fact it's free to play. I'm fairly sure you can still get its pattern from the Relic on Mars, but otherwise it's a world drop and will likely be focusable at the Gunsmith next season. For Arc, we have Sorrow's Verse. This might seem like a strange selection when there's a craftable Arc auto, so surely that should be better. Well, yes, it actually kind of is. Sweet Sorrow is actually locked to an exotic mission right now, which rotates weekly. So for now, I'm going to recommend Sorrow's Verse over it, since not only do I think it has better rolls, I also think it's a better frame. Feeding Frenzy, Subsistence for Ad Clear, and 4th times for sustained damage in the left column. Then in the right column there's Frenzy, One for All, Demo, and Rampage. Just like Amit, this is a pretty standard auto, but it certainly has better perks to choose from. It's from the Crucible, meaning if you've reset your reputation, you can actually get bonus perks in each column to choose from, which should increase your chances of getting a god roll. Void. Age-Old Bond. This is something that I'd actually consider a top tier weapon, whether you're running Void or not, though it is a benefit if you are. With great rolls like 4th times with Target Lock or Focus Fury for bosses and champs, Dragonfly or Stats for All with Tricorn or Kill Clip for Ad Clear, or the godly roll of Repulsor Brace with destabilizing rounds. I truly love this auto. It's like the auto version of Word of Crota. Hell, they're both raid weapons too. Age-Old Bond is something that I'd recommend to anyone looking for a Void primary. I really do rate it that highly. Not to mention, it's craftable, and you can buy extra copies of it from Hawthorne after your first full clear of Last Wish every week. Certainly chase this one down when you can. So there we have it. My personal top picks for the best auto for each element. Of course, since there's so many of them in the game, I'm sure you have a different favourite to mine. So please let me know in the comments what your favourites are. Thanks for watching.